What's up, everybody? A very special John Marks spot this evening as we have a major announcement. Not just a major announcement, a major announcement. And it's not about me. It's about John Marks the Spot and YouTube personality Delco Steve, home from Florida. Literally 7 o'clock tonight. Arrived home from Florida. And I said to him, and his plane was delayed. I said, dude, like, we can just do tomorrow night or something. You know, like I can do tonight solo, or we can just do tomorrow night. No, I'll be at home. Home at 7 o'clock, got the text message, ready to go. Rocking and ready to go. The cat has been out of the bag here, as it has been posted on social media. For the first time ever, Delco Steve put something out on social media that people care about. I'm getting DMs. No way. As we welcome Delco Steve to the program. Delco Steve, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
So you're great.
It's great. It was good. It was a good trip.
Good. Well, without further ado, even though I like teasing, but I'm not on radio anymore, so I don't have to tease it for next segment. Now, for people that don't know, you have lived in Delaware County your entire life. Your big announcement is you're moving to Bucks County. And you're leaving Delaware County, which is shocking everybody, including your family and your parents. Is that it?
Nope, that is not it.
All right. Well, listen, I feel like that a lot of people out there that are watching this are regs, as you can say. Let me see if the regs are on here right now. Vince is here. Justin from Tennessee is here. See, not enough people watch. Kevin Kincaid from Crossing Broad is on here tonight. It's a 1-Up Wednesday, Kevin Kincaid.
What up?
Are you engaged?
No.
That is not it. All right. That's what he thought right there. That
would be hype.
Are you going to the Super Bowl? Is that what it is?
I really wish that was the case.
All right. So you are not engaged. Is that correct?
Nope, not engaged.
All right. Well, we're going to let you make the announcement right now. Any other guesses before we let the cat out of the bag? And if you put the right one up there, we probably won't put it up there. But last call, Delco Steve with a major announcement. Anybody else? Well, Delco Steve, I actually have a drum roll for you right here.
Oh, let's go.
Delco Steve, and it's only 16 seconds long, so you got to... Like listen, I don't have digital audio to do this, and I didn't want to use something from YouTube because then it would not monetize the video,
right?
And I get the email being like, "You use copyrighted material." We're like, "All right, great. It's a friggin' drum roll. Screw you." All right. So Delco Steve, we have seen a lot since you joined the show and since I started doing this about a year ago, and we were doing it almost every night a week to start, and then when I was working or going to be working and stuff, we chopped it down. Now we're doing it once a week, maybe more coming up here. But when you first came on the program, you were a single man, and not long after.
They kind of coincided. They literally, I think the first night we were supposed to do this was our first date. It was organized, supposed to be first date, and we moved it a couple days later.
So right when we were starting, because I remember being like, "Oh, like this is cool." And you didn't, I don't, like a lot of people go on apps and go on dates with people or whatever. But I remember talking on the air about your first date and what you were going to do. And you went to some restaurant. It was freezing cold out, and you sat outside. Yep. And then she came over.
That was second date or third date.
Second date. I knew it was early, right?
Yeah, that was. I forgot about that one.
And then you stopped off at the Acme and you got fillets and you made her macaroni and cheese. Was that the fourth date?
Fourth or fifth, something like that.
It was early on. I remember that. I'm like, all right, like who doesn't like macaroni and cheese and steak? Especially
and
from
carrots.
Delaware County, Acme and carrots, right? And carrots, something like that. Hold on a second, Justin in Tennessee. Did you guys elope? Are you married?
Nope, not yet.
Oh, you were just in Florida. Nope, not yet. Yeah, that was going to be one of my follow-up questions. Well, Delco Steve, without further ado, I also have something on my phone as well that we're going to play. Hold on 1 second here. All right. I will be ready to go in 1 second. All right, Delco Steve, the drum roll, please.
That's a terrible. Is that it? Is that
I told you, yes, that's the drum roll. I can do it again. Hold on.
You can barely hear it.
You can't. Well, I'm sorry. Again, we're limited in. Ready?
Yep.
Hold on.
All right, that's terrible. I'm gonna be a dad. That's the big announcement. It's still not working. There's nothing.
You can't hear it?
No, barely.
I know. I'm playing off my phone. Yahoo!
Here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Delco Steve and the lovely Erica. There's a bun in the oven. You're gonna be a dad now. I obviously know the answers to all this anyway, but I was playing along. So, do you know? Are you going to be a girl dad? # girl dad. Or are you going to be a boy dad?
We're gonna be a boy dad. Gonna hopefully have a future goalie in the making.
Wow, Delco Steve, congratulations, man.
Thank you, sir.
Very happy for you.
We're very excited. We were down in Florida telling my grandmother she was going to be a great grandmother. That was the purpose of our trip down to Florida.
Wow. So you went down and told grandma face to face. And what was her reaction?
Oh, she was super excited. She couldn't, as she put it, she said her cheeks hurt. She hasn't smiled this much in a long time.
Now does she have other grandchildren?
Yeah, 2 others.
Okay.
I have two cousins.
All right. Well, there you go.
We're all one's married. He's a couple months older than me. He's married, but they're on a career track right now, so they're not worried about kids. And my younger cousin, she has fun, so she's all over. She actually works for she's the one that works for the WWE, so she travels a lot.
Oh, gotcha. All over the place. All right. Well, there you go. Delco Steve, gonna be a dad. When's the due date?
July 15th.
Right. That's right. Because my lean is July 13th. And Bella is a week before that. So I have 2 July babies.
So we've been joking around with if one of these Eagles players goes bananas and wins us a Super Bowl, they might get a front runner for naming rights.
Kevin Kincaid still watching. Thanks, brother.
Thanks, Kev.
There you go. All right. Well, guys, listen, congratulations. I have
appreciate it. We're really excited.
You know, when you gave the answer, I said, "Are you married?" And you said, "Not yet." That took my follow-up question. Now, is there a shotgun wedding in the future?
No. We're focusing on being good parents first, and then we'll figure out we're not going anywhere, so we're in no rush.
Right. And you are. Some people will go to City Hall or wherever and get it technically done, but many others are like, we'll get that down the road. We'll worry about that later.
Now, all our parents obviously know, and everybody's on board with what we're doing, and just focusing on the little guy first, and that's all that matters.
That is excellent. Congratulations. Now, Vince says don't get married. I can't necessarily disagree with him.
God.
But with the kid, you're essentially married.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We're just kidding. Marriage is great. We're just kidding. We wouldn't say that. All right. Well, listen, congratulations.
Thank you.
That is a lot of fun. These next couple months will go very, very quickly.
Everyone keeps saying that, but it's been a slow few months.
Well, is she getting the morning sickness and things like that?
Mornings, she was really getting sick at night more so than anything, and that's kind of subsided. She's been getting headaches lately, so that's what we're dealing with at the moment. But overall, she's been feeling pretty good.
Yeah,
we had a good day today hanging out at the airport. So thank God she felt good today.
Yeah. Well, you know what you end up doing? You end up knowing how to manage the situation. Like Liz she had morning, noon, and night sickness through her entire pregnancy for 2 of the 3. And then I don't even remember who it was. The last trimester, she wasn't as bad, but she was taking the anti-nausea medicine and that stuff like pretty much the entire time. And you learn how to manage it. So she knew she couldn't let her stomach get empty. So she knew she had to eat by a certain time every day, or she would be like,
she's trying to figure that stuff out too, because like it's rough with her job because she's hands on with babies, so it's kind of hard to get 10 minutes to put some food in your stomach, but she's figuring it out.
No, there you go.
She's right. Good, so she's doing everything she needs to.
I can't wait for then you have the baby shower, and then you have all the stuff, and then you got to get the nursery ready. And
yeah, I was actually doing stuff last week or two ago when I was off for the holidays, like getting like some little stuff situated that I know I could get ahead of and take care of and not have to worry about doing it later.
And after you guys are married and you do have the baby, and she can't stand you and you hate her, I'm gonna be right here for you to say, "Yep."
No. We're luckily, like, I feel like we're still in like honeymoon phase. So like we went into honeymoon phase. Now we're in the baby moon honeymoon phase. So it's like we're good right now.
All right. So hold on. Was the pregnancy conceived? Was this during the Portugal trip?
See, that would have made a lot of sense if that happened. But no, this is we found out in November, so October-ish, I guess.
Okay. All right. So this was just a random Thursday night, possibly.
Yeah. Not planned.
All right. What was the other question I had? Oh, so what a lot of people are asking, you know what happens with when Italians have children? They want to, is he going to be a full-blooded Italian? But you're not a full-blooded Italian, right? You're a mix. Your mother is
yeah, we're I have like 8 things. I'm 50% Italian and 50%
everything else, right?
Yeah.
Right. But what the people want to know is, will this be a 100% full-bred Delco son?
Yes.
Is she 100% Delco?
Yep, she's from Springfield. So
you are 100% Delco. Ladies and gentlemen, a Delco baby, a 100. That means they can join the Delco mob and be bookies, even though that legalized betting is everywhere. They can still be.
Yep, they have all the rights. They have all the rights to be the Delco degenerates.
There you go. All right. Well, congratulations. That's awesome. It's going to be.
Appreciate it.
And it is going to go by fast, man. Before you know it, what you didn't know before is the weeks. When you're pregnant, it's all about, she's 22 weeks. She's 24 weeks.
We were 15 weeks. 15 weeks yesterday. So I know that one exactly.
See the weeks. And each week and and you keep going in to get weighed. Before you know it, she's huge and the baby's ready to boom. Right in the middle of summer.
I'm sure she's begging for a 4th of July baby, so 2 weeks early sounds great to her.
All right. Well, there you go. All right. Delco Steve. And listen, Eagles are making, like you had mentioned, Eagles are making a Super Bowl run. I know you have to be very happy with that. Oh. Was Erica at the game on Sunday? Yeah,
her set, and so like a few of the people in her section knew what was going on, obviously. And I'm getting texts from her going, if CJ Gardner-Johnson has a pick 6 in this game, the boy's going to be named CJ. And then it was like, I'm like, oh, well, if Kenny Gainwell scores, he's got the middle name's going to be Kenny G. So he's going to be CJ, Kenny G, Gallo. Like, we're just going through all these stupid like scenarios, like how the baby's going to get named.
You think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Season ticket holders in Erica's section knew about the pregnancy before Steve's own grandmother. That shows you how tight the Eagles fans are. Seriously. It's true. It's like family.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, they knew before your friggin' grandmother.
I had to get. She sees them more frequently than I get to see my grandmother. In my defense.
Well, no, you also had to tell your grandmother in person, and she's in Florida. So
I wasn't gonna call her and be like, "Oh yeah, by the way." So I haven't got to see her, so it was nice.
So now, have you talked about names? I know that you probably don't want to release the name, but have you talked about names?
We got like 5 or 6 that we like. One that we really like that as of now, but it's not anything definite.
So are you going traditional Catholic first name? Or are you going like pussy new name that you call kids? Like my son's name's Carter, and not that there's anything wrong with Carter, but I'm like, Carter? Like, what about Doug or Robert or something?
Yeah, no Mikes, Matts, Johns, definitely not.
No Anglo-Saxon.
No.
I'm just kidding.
And it's not going to be like, Elon Musk, beta, alpha, whatever.
No, you're not going nutty.
No.
All right.
No, we're going to try and do something a little different, but not like off the wall, out of left field kind of thing.
Now, are you going to go a name that could be used for a male or a female? Because hey, you never know. It might not be he, she. It could be he, him, or none of
right? None of that. we were talking about how like people at like are like literally right now going like, oh well, we're gonna let the baby decide their gender. It's like, what? Like that's insane. Like, no, like sorry, we're not gonna be doing that. But no, we do have a few that we did have a few that could go either way originally, but I think a lot of the ones that we're focusing on now are pretty much just boy centric.
All right. Well, there you go. Delco Steve, congratulations, man. So quick, as Kevin Kincaid said, let's get to the Eagles now. I mean, I don't know. It was a weird game because of the snow and the blizzard in the second half. So I wasn't able to take a whole lot out of the game, right? Like I saw some people were kind of like freaking out because like, oh, well, they can't pass the ball. And, AJ did drop that pass. I think Jalen should have led him instead of trying to back shoulder him, or at least maybe just underthrew him. But like they won the game. They did what they had to do. They ran the ball effectively. I was totally freaked out after they scored the touchdown because I'm up and I'm screaming. My kids have never seen me celebrate like that on the Saquon Barkley touchdown that put them up 13.
Yep.
They'd never seen me. Like I came running from the kitchen and I was be like, got one more win, go to the Super Bowl. One more win, go to the Super Bowl. And then the Rams marched down the field in under 2 minutes and scored a touchdown. And as they're going down the field, I am in slow motion being like, oh my God, is this really going to happen? Are they going to friggin' score a touchdown? And then the Eagles are going to go 3 and out. And then they're going to go down and score a touchdown and win like with no time left. I didn't even open my mouth. And my wife goes, they're going to lose the game. And I was like, Jesus. Delco girl, by the way. I was like, Jesus, we're on the same page. There's just enough time for them to score twice and to lose the game. So what do? The Rams go down, easy touchdown. Eagles go 3 and out.
13 seconds off the clock.
Dude, the second down, and I know why they tried it. Because they were trying to catch the Rams off guard. It was the bootleg. And once they didn't buy the bootleg, Hurts can't get away from anybody at that point. His knee's all banged up. He wisely just went down. He didn't try to throw the ball away or try to get away from him. He just went down. And then it's like 3rd and 17 or 3rd and 19, and they're just going to run the ball. It was 2nd and 7. Run the ball with Saquon Barkley. They couldn't stop him in the fourth quarter. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because if you get 5-6 yards on that, you're set up for tush push. And
dude,
and if you wanted to pull a Campbell, you could go for it twice. But like, I wouldn't recommend that. But
I was looking for a 3rd and 2, a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. That's all you wanted right there. Wind the clock, whatever else. And meanwhile, they punt it, and this was gut wrenching. The
thank God that punt returner let that bounce.
Yeah, that was a bad. You're right. You know what? I hadn't thought of that since it happened. That was a bad play.
It was 20 yards.
10, 50. Yeah, it cost them 15, 20 yards. Yeah,
it
did. They marched right down. And to me, it was getting in the territory of when the year they won the Super Bowl in that first game against Atlanta and Matt Ryan. They're right there throwing a pass for the game. To win the game. That's how close they came.
4 freaking fades to Julio Jones from the 4-yard line, the 3-yard line.
Jesus Christ. So, but they were able to. The Jalen Carter sack was unbelievable.
Well, I mean, did you see you had to have the Dan Orlovsky video after the fact pointing out the wide open tight end over the middle? I don't even remember who slipped there. It's probably like CJ or one of the inside slot guys.
Right.
But holy crap. Like if Carter doesn't make that play, that they're on the 5 at minimum. Well, and with time to go.
It's a different game, man. They may lose that game.
I obviously you've seen it too. Like all the takes that it's like the snow is the only reason we won that game. Like I didn't come away from that game thinking the snow is the only reason we won that game. But
no,
it's like the what you said about the passing game, like that didn't bother me. It's like not many teams are going to pass in those conditions and be successful at it. It was a rough end of the game there. But I thought outside of the first drive and that second drive or the drive at the end of the game where they drove down the field and scored a touchdown, though the defense played great. And it's like, and they buckled, they gave up that Puka shot towards the end, but they buckled down when they absolutely had to.
Yep. They got it done. They did. End of the first half. And they didn't get points. They didn't get points out of it. But how was that setting up to where it's like, all right, the Rams are getting the ball coming out in the third quarter and the Eagles are backed up deep in their own territory. And man, I don't remember this team running a successful screen like that. And maybe it's a couple years. but it was 3rd and long, and they called it at the exact right time. They got the blitz. They got exactly what they were looking for. They get the first down. Gainwell gets 2 10-yard games in a row after that. Now you're thinking, I wasn't thinking touchdown at that point because it didn't seem like there was enough time left. But then they freaking get sacked out of field goal range again.
Yeah, well, they did that twice in a
row. But you felt good about that because the Rams didn't get the ball back. Like, if they don't get that first down, they may have the ball at the Eagles' 40-yard line, 1st and 10, and they go down, and now they get the ball
with a minute
out of
20
half.
left.
It was huge. It was huge. I wasn't mad because I was mad. Like, it's like, damn, you got to get some points there. But the Rams didn't get any points right there, which was important as well. So that was also a big spot in the game. But like, overall, sure, I'd love it if the passing game looked a little better. But it is what it is. This team's winning games. I understand that the analysts out there, not everybody can come out and say, oh, the Eagles are great, don't worry about them. I know that people have to take and maybe they're real opinions, maybe they're not, but these guys know what they're doing. They have to get on the separate sides and they have to fight about it, and they have to put the videos on social media. It's the nature of what everybody does in that type of business, right? The Eagles have a great defense, and they have Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the ball over. It's the same thing that the Bills just did, and nobody's ripping the Bills. Josh Allen threw for 127 yards.
Well,
they ran the ball. He runs
Mahomes'
the ball.
The first week of the playoffs was the same thing.
Dude, the guys that are throwing Jaden Daniels threw for 299. Everybody else lost. They threw for big yards. The winners were the ones that controlled the ball and didn't turn the ball over.
Yep.
Goff threw for 313. They lost. Stafford threw for over 300 yards. They lost. Jaden Daniels in a win threw for 299. But the NFL has changed. You don't need a 400-yard passer to win games. That's not the way the teams are playing these days.
Most of the guys that you're seeing those stats, it's like the Jameis Winston stat line where it's like, oh, they were down 21 and they made it interesting at the end because they were throwing the ball, 95% of the plays, and the defense playing prevent.
Yep. I did take Josh Allen over Wentz.
I would 1,000% taken Josh Allen over Wentz back then.
Ain't gonna lie, Spike made it sound like you did something terribly wrong with the get rid of that guy bit. So is that why were people asking me about the get rid of that guy bit? This is totally off the grid, but I saw it right now.
What bit?
So there was a bit right before COVID, where OJ came out. I don't know why he was doing it, but OJ came out and he said, get rid of that guy. I don't know if it was fantasy football talk or he was talking about somebody, but OJ Simpson goes, get rid of that guy. And we clipped it and we were playing it. So every week it was kind of like Weasel of the Week. We picked the guy that we wanted to get rid of. And then we would play, get rid of that guy. And then people would call in and say they wanted to get rid of that guy. So they could be callers like OG Wade for saying this or Herb for doing this.
Right.
And for 2 or 3 weeks, it was really good. But I let off with
God. It's bad if you're already laughing before you say it.
With some high school, because sometimes I don't know my own strength. With some high school coach that was quoting Hitler or something. And all right, it was a news story. High school football coach quoting Hitler. And Spike was like, dude, you don't bring up Hitler on the air. And I'm like, well, I wasn't supporting Hitler. I said,
I was saying, get rid of him.
Yes. Hitler.
It was like McDermott bringing up the freaking hijackers in his pregame speech.
Right.
No, get rid of that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't Hitler quotes or so whatever it was, so that's what it was.
So that recirculated recently?
No, I don't. I think they were just BSing about some stuff. But someone had messaged me today and said, what was the story about the get rid of that guy bit? And it was, I let off get rid of that guy talking about Hitler, which Spike was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know.
Well, there goes that segment.
No. So we continued to do it. And then COVID happened. And with no sports or anything, it was hard to do a segment of get rid of that guy. So that's when that's when we were out. That's when we stopped doing it. And then looking back in hindsight, I mean, honestly, we talked about a lot of things that we did and others did. Looking back in hindsight, it's like, yeah, we couldn't do that today. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, there you go. So that was that. All right. So quickly predictions for what do you think for Sunday? It's been a steady. I mean, it opened up at what, 5?
I got it at 4.5. right
4.5. It shot up to 6.5. It's been steady, at least on the BetParks app. It's been steady at 6 for better part of the last 2 days. Jalen Hurts is going to play. That's what that tells you. And he said it today. Is he going to be limited? Yeah, I think he is going to be somewhat limited. He'll still run and stuff. But honestly, do they win because Jalen Hurts is super athletic or because he's smart when he runs? And don't get me wrong. He could on that 44-yard touchdown run. That was a really good run. He broke a tackle.
Yeah, and it just opened up for him.
Yep. But for the most part, he's trying to get 7-8 yards at a clip. And they use him in that part of the running game where he doesn't need to be fast or Lamar Jackson or anything like that.
If it was last year where they were dependent on him, in those final 5-6 games to move the ball the way he was running the ball that last year, they'd be screwed right now. But you have Saquon and you have as long as he's able to, do his normal, he doesn't have to be spectacular. If he can be his 90% or 70% of his normal to just be in the pocket and be the point guard, then yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
It's we obviously lost that game to Washington in comeback fashion. What was that? 4 weeks ago now, give or take. But it's just I don't think we lose that game if he's 75% healthy and playing in the game.
You're talking about the Washington game?
Correct.
Yeah, I think that was they've won 7 straight. So that was Commanders
week 15.
I'll look at the date. I was looking at it today. It was December 22nd. So all right, a month. Yeah, you're right. You're dead on. Actually, it's been a month. So yeah, they have, and you're right, Steve. I agree with you that if Hurts is there, it doesn't get to that, and it is the one thing that worries me. We just saw it with Fangio. I don't know what the hell he's doing at the end of these games, but whatever he's doing, do the opposite because
just do what you're doing all game. It works.
The prevent defense. Sometimes it prevents you from winning, as the saying goes. They gave up 22 points in that fourth quarter to Washington. Bang, 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 and they lost. There was just enough time. Same thing almost happened in the Rams game last week. So Daniels has to concern you. But here's what I'll say, and here's why I'm confident the Eagles win the game. And I think it's a close game. I don't think the Eagles cover. I think this is a close game. It's a field goal type game. Fangio now looks at Washington and looks at Daniels and said, he got us last time. What am I going to do to prevent that from happening again? And I remember Jim Johnson always used to have great success against Mike Vick. And the key to what he did was he wasn't trying to sack him. He was trying to keep him between the tackles. It was a mush rush to where it's hey, you're not getting outside to make plays. They did the Jalen Hurts last year, but they did it inside. They said, we're not going to allow you to escape inside because that's what Hurts like to do a lot. So you only need to make an adjustment for this one game. Right? So all you have to do, he's a rookie. He's been unbelievable. He's one game away from going to a Super Bowl. You got to come out. Vic Fangio needs to come out. This is the Vic Fangio Bowl. Come out with a defensive game plan that's going to slow him down. Because if you don't, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. This is a defensive game right here.
It's funny that you say you think it's going to be a close game. I was texting with my buddy yesterday, and we came to the same conclusion. I think this is a game we either smoke them like we should, because it's like you just said, it's a great story. You and I have talked about this. We love Jaden Daniels. We think he's great. We think he's going to be a stud. We hate that he's in a division. We were joking around at the draft, maybe Washington will do the really stupid thing and mortgage the future and go up for Caleb Williams, and then we don't have to face Jaden Daniels in the draft. So we think he's great. But I think this is a game that we either blow the doors off them like we should, or it's way too close for comfort, and it's oh, you might come up on the wrong side of a coin flip. I'm still leaning towards we're the superior team, and I think Dan Quinn has learned from his past mistakes with Atlanta, but it's still Dan Quinn, and he needs to prove it to me that he's not going to turtle in this, in a big situation.
And I don't think that the Eagles won in 2017, not with a rookie quarterback, but Wentz was, Wentz was an inexperienced quarterback.
Second-year quarterback.
Yeah. So, it doesn't, you don't have to have year one, make the playoffs, year two, win a playoff game, year three, make the championship game or go to the Super Bowl. That doesn't have to happen. But you would think that this is, I was on with the Washington guy today, and he said to me, This might be the worst talent on Washington that they're going to have during this run. They weren't supposed to do this year.
Right.
They have salary cap space. They have draft picks. Now, because you see where they are, do they trade for a Tyreek Hill? Do they trade to upgrade, even though that young wide receiver looks really, really good right now? Maybe they don't have to do it right now. Yeah. But like now they just add to the team.
And they're going to be building facilities and this, that, and the other thing. So they're going to be able to draw in those marquee free agents instead of just being like, oh, we're going to get not that these guys haven't been productive for them this year, but the Austin Ecklers, the Bobby Wagners who are towards the end of their career and are happy to get an opportunity to still contribute at a high level.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, now you can attract a premium free agent because you have, all these, you have showers that work after the game at least. Well,
yep. Yeah, I mean, I know nobody likes Josh Harris. I think Josh Harris is like, the Sixers have been close. They've had, I don't like them necessarily, but you think if Josh Harris isn't by the team that they're right. If Daniel Snyder's the owner right now, are they one game from the Super Bowl?
Absolutely not.
0% chance.
No, because Dan, who the hell are they picking as coach? Probably some jackass that
who knows,
retread that's been in the boys club with Dan Snyder for God knows how long.
Yep.
Probably hire John Gruden and make up for getting him fired in Oakland.
Eagles are that may have happened. The Eagles are 6-point favorites still in the BetParx app. They have the futures for potential matchups. The Eagles were favored against the Bills by a point. Now they're underdogs by a point. And also the Chiefs, and that's went up a half a point. The Chiefs, you can bet it right now, BetParx app. The Chiefs are 1.5 favorites over the Eagles in potential matchup. So I guess if the matchup doesn't happen, your money just goes back.
Yeah,
100%. Or whatever. It's pretty interesting. Chiefs are 2-point favorites.
I'm not surprised by either of them being favorites because I feel like people would bet the Chiefs just based on the fact that they have the pedigree, and then people want the Bills to win because they haven't, and they like Josh Allen.
Yeah. Someone asked me who would it hurt more to see, Ben Simmons winning a title or Josh Harris winning a title with the Redskins or with the Commanders. And that's an easy Josh Harris for me. If Josh Harris is up there, giddy.
Well, if Ben Simmons wins, he's irrelevant to the team that won.
He's not carrying the team. He's on the team. And we all know Ben Simmons isn't winning anything. So
he's the 10th man that probably played 2 minutes the whole playoff run.
Right. Yeah. And Josh Harris is going to be holding the trophy up, and he's going to be celebrated as a hero in Washington, as we would do it as well if we had that loser Daniel Snyder as the owner for many, many years.
Yeah. Right. I feel like the only benefit or the only the Commanders winning and beating the Lions was huge, like giving us another home game to get to the Super Bowl. It's like, but it also just put the downside of it is to put all the pressure right on our shoulders. Like, this is a game you need to win. You should win. And there's no excuses. It's like, if you at least were going to Detroit, I would be confident in going into Detroit and winning that game. But if Detroit beat you in a close game, it's not like there's no shame in that. If you lose this game at home to a rookie quarterback with a retread coach in his first year to that organization,
there will be hell to pay, Steve.
Oh my God. And then we have to watch that Super Bowl with either a juggernaut AFC team versus the Commanders. Oh,
yeah, I won't. God. I will not watch the Super Bowl.
That's a lie. That's 100% a lie.
I didn't watch the Tampa Bay Super Bowl against the Raiders. Never watched it.
Oh, come on.
Didn't watch the Carolina Super Bowl against the Patriots.
20-something years ago. It's a completely different story.
Well, they lost in the championship game, and it killed me both years.
Right, yeah, but now it's everywhere. You can't even open your phone without, you're going to be watching it through little 10-minute clips or 10-second clips on Twitter, so you might as well just watch the damn game.
No, I will.
You ain't going off into the middle of the woods or something.
I will not.
I'll believe it when I say it.
Normally,
no. Actually, I don't even want to believe it when I say it because it's not going to happen. We're going to beat the freaking Commanders. We're going to go to the freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree. Could you? Oh my God, Josh Harris on the field at Lincoln Financial Field, holding up being interviewed by Terry Bradshaw or whoever. Oh my God, kill me now! Kill me now! And Arnold Schwarzenegger said, "Kill me! Do it!"
I'm glad we're the first game though. I not have to sit around waiting all day.
Me too, man. Get it over with. Normally, when we do these shows, Delco Steve, I drink coffee. I did not tonight because when we get done at 10 o'clock. I want to go right to bed. I am so freaking tired. I have been. I don't even know the last time I got a decent night's sleep. It's been a while. And then I had the shovel and the shoveling, which is like something that I don't feel like doing. But I do have this takeaway from shoveling, because I have a snowblower, and then
I was gonna say you definitely have a fancy snowblower.
So I didn't buy it came with the house. So when we bought the house, the guy was like, he was a widow, so he was retiring somewhere, and I'm like, all right, like, how much you want for the riding mower and the snowblower? And he took really, really good care of this stuff. So I don't know how old the snowblower is. This is a big daddy,
big boy.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not getting stuck anywhere with this thing. It plows through everything. Well, but I mean, I would say that I'm probably in the 99 percentile of snowblowers out there. I am a precision snowblower. I do the neighbors' walks. I walk all the way down and do the sidewalks. I have old neighbors next to me or older neighbors next to me.
Yeah, I do the same thing for my old neighbors at my parents' house and my neighbors next door. I do the same thing.
But I love, like, it's such a routine for me how I line the cars up in the driveway perfectly, and then I knock the snow off of the cars.
Yep,
and
that's key. You got to do that first, so you don't have to do everything. You just come through and blow it all out afterwards.
Man, the strat, I'm telling you, I'm like when Bill Belichick was good as
I do the same thing.
Like, kill it, man. Right up the front walk. And then I'm an extra salter. I take great care in making sure that every piece of ice is off the car. Every piece of ice. Like, I go back out there after I salt, and I get the other piece of ice, make sure it's not there, and then I salt again and I salt again. There's salt everywhere. I mean, it puts holes in my driveways probably, but I have salt everywhere. So yes, I am, because it bothers me when I drive down my street and I see the yutzos that don't shovel it, and then you see it's just a sheet of ice with the tire marks that go through it. It's like, all right, it's gonna be. It's been below zero for a couple days in a row. What do you think? It's gonna melt? It's gonna be a 45-degree day, you idiot.
Yep.
Oh, it's fine. No, it's not. It's dangerous. They should be fined by the HOA. Delco Steve. So that was that. So I was thinking about you here. Let me see here. Hold on a second. I gotta put this up there. There we go. So if there was ever a reason for you,
this is why we were just talking about this last week.
Yes, exactly. trustandwill.com/marks gets you 10% off. And this is not legal advice. And I'm a Trust and Will partner. That's a disclosure. But I did get a will. And it's so easy. I mean, like, my parents, my mom in particular, have been saying the last couple of years, like, do you have a will? Like, I don't have a will. Why are you asking me? Like, is that a rhetorical question? I don't have a will. Get a will, blah, blah. What I didn't know was that if you don't have a will, even if, like, my wife and kids were to get everything like they should, which would probably happen, you have to go through these friggin' processes where there's fees and everything.
Yeah, so many hoops to jump through.
You have to literally jump through hoops for no reason at all, other than they're going to take their time. They're going to get their money.
They want their pound of flesh.
Right. So trustandwill.com. And like, for real, it only took maybe 10 minutes for everything. And then boom. And I have a will, and I have a legitimate will. Go to a lawyer. It's going to cost you a lot more money. It is like a great value. trustandwill.com/marks. 10% off. There's no promo code. Just use that. trustandwill.com/marks. I'm gonna get. Well, I mean, I'll have to discuss it with you if you want it, but now you need to get the will with having.
I do.
I do. A little boy coming.
I definitely got to set something up so everything's handled, because just because I'm all of a sudden a dad doesn't mean I'm gonna all of a sudden start making smart decisions.
No, you're not. You're probably not. Well, you have to get little Rocco Gallo. You have to make sure that he's taken care of. Are you looking super Italian?
Nah, I wouldn't say super Italian. There's a wide range of names at the moment.
Well, we went all A.
If Cooper DeJean wins like Super Bowl MVP or something, it's like 100% going to be Cooper.
Right. For all the people that are just tuning in, Steve Gallo and his girlfriend Erica expecting a baby boy come July. That's right. The big announcement was tonight. So there you go. What about because I went all, like, it's Gianna, Lena, and Bella. So we did all A's. She's not Isabella. Okay. She's just Bella, all A's. So there was a theme there to it. So I'll be curious.
Well, we gotta get through the first soldier before we think about if we're gonna have a common nameality throughout.
What about Larry or something that's old?
The cable guy,
Douglas, and you call him Doug. Not a lot of Dougs running around out there these days.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're gonna get anything like that.
Well, in our last however long here, you didn't give me your prediction on the game, Delco.
I'm gonna say it's like a 17-point win, like 31. I'll go 14-point win, 31-17.
You think it's gonna be? So is this a 17-point win that they pull away in the fourth quarter? Is this a blowout win that Washington makes a little bit closer than it looks?
I think it's like we're up 7-ish at halftime, and then we do our thing with Saquon and at the end and just put it right down, finish them off at the end.
All right. There you go. Let me tell you something. I would love LOVE.
A stress-free win.
Stress-free fourth quarter. I'm telling my kids about the Super Bowl, looking at pictures of the last Super Bowl.
Look at this tattoo on my back.
Yep. telling. Oh my God. Telling everybody that I do not want to go to New Orleans, which I don't believe that I'm going to go with PHLY. But one of my least favorite places that I've ever been is New Orleans.
Oh, I love New Orleans. New Orleans was fun.
Yeah,
I had a good time.
How old were you?
It was the year after we won the Super Bowl. I went to the Eagles Saints game where the Eagles lost like 40-7.
Oh my God, dude! You would have to pay me $5,000 to go to an Eagles game in New Orleans. You'd have to pay me.
We had fun. We had a good time.
I bet you did. Yeah, I can't do it.
I've never been so drunk for a flight in my life the next day.
Right. Yeah, I can't.
5:30 a.m. flight to Chicago.
The French Quarter's dirty. There's hookers everywhere. The place is disgusting. Now, like also, I do like the spirit of the city, and I like the people of the city, but the French Quarter, I am not a fan of. I'm not. I've been there like I'll just say 1.5 times because my buddy drove to California and I went with him, and we went the route where we went all the way down and then we went along the Gulf. And so like we that wasn't a real vacation, but then I went back and I didn't go I don't ever go Mardi Gras unless you're 18 or something.
I thought I would like to go for Mardi Gras one time, and then I went for that trip for the Eagles game, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need to go for Mardi Gras. That was enough.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like all right, one and done. You definitely one and done. I don't know if you would go back.
I would go back like knowing it was like chill to like go eat again. Like I thought the food was awesome. Like I was pigging out and then just drinking all night long. Yeah, the food was great. So like I would go back for that. Like I don't necessarily need to do like Bourbon Street, go on like a 17-hour bender.
I also don't need to get killed. It's a very very violent city. I watch all the shows that I watch. A lot of them are in New Orleans. A lot of homicides, man.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't need to get that. There you go. I wanted to play. Black Gritty was with me on the PHLY show Philly today. He's been doing Wednesdays. So coming up, we're gonna have a lot of co-hosts that are gonna be on the show, and it's like probably. I mean, it'll be a little bit next week, but it's gonna be like after that. Trying to get through the Eagles season, and then we'll kind of reset and start. And I want you to come in when you can during the week. But
definitely.
So I had. Do I not have the video of it up? Let me see. But it's the Chris Sims comments.
Oh, God. I didn't see anything, but I can only imagine what this dipshit has to say.
So he was on Up and Adams with Kay Adams. Kay Adams. Oh, she's so cute. Chris. So I want it's worth playing the whole thing. Just like he is such a dipshit, and like I appreciate the fact that he's so committed to being against Jalen Hurts that he can't help himself. It's at least like Dan Orlovsky bothers me because he's all over the place. It's like, oh, well, like one week, Jalen Hurts is great. The next week, he's not good enough. The next week, he's good enough. Like, look at this. And then like people yell at him. And then he's like back and forth. I can't figure out what the hell is going on with him. But so Chris Sims on Up and Adams. with K. Where the hell is it? Is this it right here? All right, so let's do it. Here it is.
If I watched this back and I was Chris Sims, I'd be like,
today.
can you delete that tweet? Can you take that down? I sound like a horse's ass. Here's Chris Sims with Kay Adams.
Let's say it was 130 plays. The Rams definitely won the majority of those plays. If it's not for 2 strips by the Eagles defense and basically the 3 long touchdown runs, I would say you take away those 5-6 plays there, the Rams football team won the majority of the plays on the field in the game that day. That shouldn't be. The Eagles didn't play their best ball, and they got to find ways to throw the ball a little bit better.
There it is. There's the buzzword. It's all about him throwing the ball. It's all about Jalen Hurts throwing the ball.
It's the same thing as Micah Parsons said. He's like, well, outside of 5-6 plays, I thought we played them pretty even. It's like, we won like 40-7, bro. Like
you got blown out.
5-6, like it wasn't that like wasn't that like a Bill Belichick mantra? Like there's 7 or 8 plays that are going to
decide a game.
Decide a game, and we need to win those 7 or 8 plays.
Right.
Like, that's all. Like, okay, has this run, like, I mean, yeah, there's been stretches since the bye week, so week 5 on, like where we've looked dominant and been that dominant team. Yeah, there has been. But there's other been times where we win in the key situations, and that's what matters. Yeah, like we know, like I've done this with my trepidations with Nick Sirianni in the big situations, but a lot of the times the players are coming through for him when it matters most anyway. Like whether I think he's making mistakes or not, the players are coming through in the clutch. So those 5 or 6 plays matter.
Micah Parsons is the player. He was in the locker room. Chris Sims is supposed to be an analyst. He's an idiot.
He just hates the Eagles.
He doesn't think Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback because Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball well. That's what I'm telling you. A lot of these analysts are like that. They look at Jalen Hurts and they're like, they're running this high school offense for him because they're really running a college offense. Look what they're doing. This isn't a pro style offense, what they're doing with Jalen Hurts, but it's effective. But because he ends with you go to pass the ball better. Like, okay, first of all, if there were 120 plays in the game, are you really trying to tell me the Rams were more impressive than the Eagles? What are we talking about here? First of all, there was a half of football that was in a blizzard. You can take nothing from that. Nothing. From either side. They were playing in a freaking blizzard, all right? The Rams were that much more dominant over the Eagles, except for the 2 long runs by Saquon Barkley and a 44-yard rushing touchdown by Jalen Hurts. So you don't count them, and you just want to say, well, if they didn't have those plays, what are we doing here? You're actively trying to talk yourself out of giving the Eagles credit for winning games. They were supposed to lose to the Packers. Everybody said, if there's an upset this weekend, it's going to be the Eagles. They're rusty. Jalen Hurts hasn't played in 3 weeks. Packers are going to win this game. Then the Eagles win by double digits. Then last week against the Rams are a tough team. The Rams are a good team. That Jared Verse kid, as you know, Steve, is a friggin' stud.
Yeah,
he was throwing Jordan Mailata around in the first half.
I was so disappointed on Thursday or Friday, whenever that quote came out by him. And I was like, oh my God, of course it's the Florida State kid that I love. But I thought it was great. Like I thought the broadcast bringing it up, like how they put it up on the Jumbotron and they showed him. Like I think he for someone who opened their mouth and ran their mouth, he backed it up. Like he played a hell of a game. I thought the Saquon Barkley taunting him.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
It's like, dude, Jared Verse hit 21-something miles per hour on that run. Saquon didn't hit 21 miles an hour. Like, that dude's a freak.
Do you remember the long touchdown run he had in Los Angeles? Yep. I remember the number 8 being like, damn, that's a lineman. He almost caught Saquon. There was nobody else that was even close to him.
The next gen stats had him at the 3rd and 5th fastest speed as a defensive lineman. And it was both on chasing Saquon Barkley, 70-yard touchdown.
I loved how he handled it. I loved how he didn't back down, but also didn't make it worse. And I loved how he handled it after the game, which was like he respected us because we were like, hey, screw you. Yep. We hear you. And he came and he balled, brother.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna talk shit, that's the as the team that's on the other side of it, that's the perfect way to do it. Like you talk shit, we still win, but you backed it up. And it's like you weren't the reason your team lost, brother. But holy shit, he played a hell of a game.
Well, listen, Chris Sims does have a good point. If you take away, the runs by the touchdown runs by Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts' run,
but
they probably
the two of
win the game.
Like the Hurts run at the beginning of the game, it's like that was the tone setter of the game. Like that was Like, it wasn't like some fluke play. It was the first drive of the game, and they stuffed it right down the freaking Rams' throat and brought it to them the whole rest of the game.
Here's what they've proven, that they can win in the run game. Until I see that they can run. I mean, it's crazy to think that this is kind of like this is a big part of their offense. They just want to get it to 3rd and short because then they're going to move the chains. And they want to get it to the 4th quarter so Saquon Barkley can break a long run. How many times have we seen it? It's right. Like, believe me, I would love to have A.J. Brown have 175 passing yards, Devontae to have 100 passing yards right now or whatever. That's not what they're doing right now. And
I'm not telling you that for the Super Bowl when it's good weather.
Dude, I'm not telling you can win like this year after year. I don't know, because like, is Saquon Barkley ever going to look like this again? Like, holy crap.
It's like, if he looks 80% of what he did this year, next year, that's great. That's fantastic. You can't expect him to have this kind of wear and tear, play his first full season in God knows how long.
And right now they're winning like this.
Yeah. It's like next year it'll probably be more of a committee with Gainwell and Shipley and this, that, and the other thing. And Saquon still gets 300-something touches, but he probably won't be running 30 times a game next year. But right now, he's healthy. He's ready to go. Like, let him go. Let the horses eat.
Let him go, man. He has not slowed down. He's only gotten better. Better.
And it's crazy because, like, he's kind of got, like, everyone talks about how, like, Derrick Henry, like, where's the defense down? Where's the defense down? Saquon Barkley does the same thing, but he's even got, like, more, like, shimmy to him than a guy like Derrick Henry does. So it makes it even that much harder if he's going off in the 4th quarter.
He sure does, man. It's unbelievable. I wanted to play one more thing here. I thought this was was one of the best things I heard. I guess it was yesterday. So it's Zach Wolchuk of 105.3 The Fan. You down in Dallas. You see who is likely to be hired as their next head coach. Looks like it's their offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer, or it's going to be Kellen Moore. And I mean, it kind of keeps going back and forth who the favorite is. It'll get taken off the board. DraftKings has it. It'll get taken off the board. Then it'll come back Kellen Moore. It'll come back Schottenheimer. But I think either way, isn't that kind of a blah hire? If it's Brian Schottenheimer, I would just stop watching the team if I was a Cowboy fan.
100%. Couldn't agree more. I mean, if it's Kellen Moore, at least you know, like, he's had that, like, cachet there sort of thing. It's like he was calling plays while he was there. What was Schottenheimer doing? Nothing. Like, they fired Kellen Moore so McCarthy could call the plays.
Right. And then
so Schottenheimer wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, their offensive coordinator is in an NFC Championship game. The Cowboys haven't sniffed it in years.
Oh, I love the fact that the Commanders now getting there. Now makes the Cowboys the longest tenured team in the NFC without getting to an NFC Championship.
The NFC.
That's so great.
I'm we're gonna play this in a second. I'm at this point, Delco Steve. I feel bad for not Philadelphia Cowboy fans, but Dallas Cowboy fans. Yeah, they are so freaking miserable because now, like, they knew before, now they know. Jerry Jones is freaking cheap. He doesn't want to pay anybody. It's a reality show to him. It is. So this is.
He knows he's going to make a shit ton of money regardless of what he puts on the field.
Man, he's enjoying this. So I'm gonna.
Completely.
Can you hear that?
Utterly ridiculous potential hiring, and it makes it very, very.
I'm gonna speed it up a little bit.
Because he said I could get how many 100,000 of coaches to come in here and coach football team. You had Jimmy Johnson. Best thing he's ever done was hire Jimmy. Jimmy put together those teams, and since then he's been trying to get the same type of success where he gets the credit, and it's got you nowhere. It's now got you to the biggest NFC championship around the entire conference. It's disgraceful. And he's still going to make his money because schmucks like me, they don't love the Cowboys for the Joneses. You love the Cowboys because you grew up going to games.
Isn't this a very Dallas Cowboy Texas rant?
Oh, 100%.
Very, very thoughtful, but you can tell he's mad. He's just getting cooking. Here's
with your family members, and you fall in love with the sport. And I love the Cowboys because of the Dallas Cowboys, not because of the names on the back of the jerseys or who owns the team. It's because of the team. But unfortunately now, it's just depression. That's what it is being a Cowboy fan. It's utter depression and anger, and where the hell do I go from here? And a hire like this isn't getting your – even if it's Kellen Moore, maybe it's not shoddy. And I'm not trying to crap on him. Good dude, family's awesome. They walk by us all the time, Brian, in post games. Yeah. But this is an utterly crap hiring if that's what you're going to do.
Here it comes.
It's disgraceful, and it's a slap in the face to your fans. It's like you're doing a bit. Do you give a damn? The answer is no right now, you don't. You don't care about winning a championship, and all you care about is printing money.
Is this the guy that interviewed him, that interviews Jerry every week, or is that the station that interviews Jerry every week?
It's the station. So
can't Jerry get him fired for a second?
He may say that, but he says that he's doing a bit. Think about Dak Prescott twice has had to play out his contract very publicly. He was franchised, then they gave him the contract. Then final year of the contract, and now they were going to franchise him. Then they gave him his money. They did it with CeeDee Lamb. They did it with Ezekiel Elliott before. He held out. They're going to do it with Micah Parsons. You know what they're going to do with Micah Parsons. Jerry's going to play this whole freaking thing out. Zach Martin sat out some of training camp. He does it with everybody. Jeffrey Lurie has. What's the last player that had a contract dispute with the Eagles and Jeffrey Lurie that Jeffrey Lurie didn't want to pay?
Besides Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, and they traded him. They said, "All right, we'll move on from you."
Yep.
They didn't have a pissing match with him. They wisely moved on.
Was there really one since T.O.? I can't even think of another one since T.O.
Trot, which was before that.
Yeah, Trot was before T.O.
I'm sure there's been some players unhappy with their contracts.
Right.
This
but
is
no one of pertinence.
Yeah, Malcolm Jenkins definitely. He played through it though, but still, I think all NFL players realize that this is a business, and without guaranteed contracts, once the guaranteed money's up, they're mad, and teams can say no, and players can say all right, well, I'm going to be mad about it, or I'm not going to report to OTAs, or I'm not going to report to this, right? It happens. That very rarely happens with the Eagles. He is treating this like a reality show. They should just go on Hard Knocks every year. Why not? I mean, just have him in the contract negotiations. So it's unbelievable.
And he probably wouldn't even care because he'd be more money in his pocket.
Yep. Yeah, Corey Simon had again, you go back 20 years almost. Well, you are going back 20 years with Corey Simon.
There hasn't been anyone serious in the last decade. No one of pertinence, at least.
It's the nature of the sport where you're going to have guys that are unhappy with contracts, and it has really not happened with the Eagles. So while Jerry's down there with a reality show and it's a bit, he's treating his team like a bit.
Well,
a radio bit.
He talks about it all the time where he's he bought a job for life. When he bought the Cowboys, you don't say those. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, his family's going to be involved, and he's going to do whatever the hell he wants to do. And
he's running a fantasy football team. He's running a fantasy football team and forgetting that there's stuff that other stuff that actually matters.
He has said publicly that he would rather be in the news, even if it's bad publicity, than no publicity at all. He has said that before. Right. He didn't think it was bad when the NFL was constantly in the news for all those bad stories. He didn't think it was bad. And by the way,
isn't that PR 101? All news is good news.
I love Jerry Jones, and I love him for more than just him for being the Cowboys owner, and they'll never win with him in charge. And by the way, rich people don't die early. He's going to be 90 years old, weekend at Bernie's, and still Stephen Jones is going to be wiping off his glasses, and he's and he's still going to be talking about this.
100%.
Going on the radio once a week.
And it's the shit thing is for him, it's I'm sure for an 82-year-old man, he's sharp as a tack. But an 82-year-old man who's probably just a smidge, lost a few miles per hour on his fastball and still running an NFL organization isn't the same thing.
He has lost. I mean, I'm not going to go Joe Biden level.
No, I'm not saying that either. It's he's for 82, he's probably in really good shape. But who wants an 82-year-old that you're saying he's great for 82 running your franchise? He's
also become more stubborn to where now it's more about him and him being Jerry Jones than it is about doing what's right for your football team. The whole thing with we couldn't afford to get Derrick Henry, we're up against the salary cap in Philadelphia. They're going to have to pay the piper one day with the salary cap. No, when? Right. You just keep spending money. It doesn't matter. You don't have to. And literally, he's out there in the public saying this, and there's so many dumb Cowboys fans that still aren't onto it. Yeah, but but the media is finally not allowing him to get away with it and are pushing back. So, anyway,
I hope he's there. I hope he's there forever, baby. And the best part about it is as soon as his time does come where he's not the GM or the primary owner anymore, where if he does pass on his son, then his son's just going to be like John Mara or whatever his name in New York. It's like his dad is the guy that built the Giants into what it was, and then now it's him. And it's like, I mean, yes, they did win Super Bowls in the recent time frame, but like they still weren't what they were in their heyday. And it's like, so it's all these, the hand-me-down generation of owners, like they don't do that great. They really don't. It's like, I want Jeffrey Lurie to be here forever. Like, I don't need his son running anything for a long time.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, no, Jeff can stick around for as long as he wants. All right. Well, listen, Delco Steve, congratulations once again. A lot of comments, a lot of things coming in from people, including JJ, who messaged me. That has escalated quick. Congratulations, Delco Steve.
You could say that. You could definitely say that.
Yeah. And very exciting.
Hey, it happens when it happens, right? We're very lucky.
Yeah, man. Yeah, what Rodney Dangerfield once said, best part of kids is making them.
So far, that's the only part I know.
Yeah, see Gianna, my first, it took she actually got pregnant on our honeymoon, but it was very like only a couple weeks. It never actually happened, or you know what I mean? Like long before there was actually a human that was there. Like, so then it took a while after that, and it was stressful. And then you worry about it and you worry about it. But then boom, pregnant with G, and then second baby, like literally it's like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant. And then Bella, who I don't think we expected to do it. And then the pandemic happened, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, all right, let's go. And then it was like, what do you mean? No, it's supposed to take longer. No, it's supposed to take a couple months. Nope. The potency was there at that point. So anyway, congratulations. It's very exciting. And
I appreciate it.
Look forward to going through this process with you and Erica.
So. I'm sure I'll have multiple stories. It's a lot different than the ones I used to tell.
Dude, actually Nick Costos, who you love from You Better You Bet, he became a dad in the last year.
Yeah, I think it was like 9 months or something like that.
Yeah, and he had tweeted out the other day that he wished he had kids earlier because it's literally the best thing ever. And like, it's easy to say that, yeah, I wish I would have had kids earlier too, so I'm not going to be 62 when they graduate from high school. But you do it in your own time, and like, yeah, they are the best.
I'll be 51.
Yeah, you're good.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be working at a friggin' department store or something part-time to get them through college.
You'll be picking me up in an Uber.
I might be, man. I actually want to drive an Uber right now, but I don't know. I can't. I could use the extra cash right now. Where's our feeding the ducks? It's right here. All right. Oh. And by the way, I'm upgrading my equipment, Delco Steve. Blackgritty is helping me out with it. So we should be able to do it, and it's going through the system as opposed to. I mean, are the people out there hearing this internally, or is this like coming from the? You know what I mean?
No, it should be coming through. It's not coming through your computer and in. No. It's just playing over the bed.
So earlier you could hear the.
Yeah, can you hear that?
All right, there you go. All right, man, go Birds. We'll talk next week. I'll probably stream at some point between now and the game. So look out for that. But Delco Steve, have a good one, man. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Peace.